I found the best builds in NBA 2K23. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys the top 10 builds in this game. Whether you want a center that can shoot threes and consistently get blocks and stops at the rim, or you want a guard that can take off from the free throw line and dunk and make shots from nearly half court, or if you want a lockdown build that can get snatch blocks and steals nearly every single time, I've got you covered in this video with the top 10 best builds. In this video, we're going to be going in order from short to tall. I'm going to leave timestamps in the description, and just know your boy's got a 96 win percentage, so you guys are in good hands. And if you guys want to thank me for putting you onto the sauce, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It really helps your boy out. All right, so the first build we're going to be going over, guys, is the 6'1" shot creator. Now, keep in mind, these are the top 10 builds in NBA 2K23, but you can tweak these builds to your play style if there's anything that you see in the build that you would like to tweak. Now, these 6'1" builds, although they're very short in your reliability on defense, they are nearly unstoppable on offense. And that's why, along with the 6'1" height, you're going to want to go with a 160-pound weight, and you're going to want to go with a 6'6" wingspan. Now, body shape, you can go with whatever you prefer. And this 6'1" can literally do it all. As you guys can see, we get 21 finishing, 23 shooting, 25 playmaking, and 19 defensive. Now, what you guys are going to want to look at right here is that we go with the 88 driving dunk. That way we get gold limitless takeoff, and we get the Michael Jordan takeoff dunk package, which is extremely important in this game. Now, as you guys can also see, we go with a 92 3 ball. That way we get gold limitless range and gold agent 3. And then for ball handling, we go with a 92. That way we get gold clamp breaker and we get Hall of Fame hyperdrive, but we also get the Hall of Fame quick first step. We get gold unpluckable. We get the silver handles for days, so we're just shy of gold, but we go with that so that way we can get an 85 steal for that silver glove, and we get an 80 perimeter defense. That way, with the 80 perimeter defense, you can at least get some shot contests. Obviously, on a 6'1", you're going to be at a major disadvantage against taller builds on defense, but this build is more for the 5v5. It's more for the 3v3. You really want to make sure that you team up with a lockdown defender on your team, so that way defense isn't that important for you, and you can mainly focus on offense, because this build is extremely fast, and that's why you want to go with that 90 acceleration paired with the 90 speed with ball. That way you are nearly impossible to stick with on defense and guard. And then if you're on next gen, go with a 75 vertical so you get all of the pro contact dunks. Now for takeovers, doesn't really matter, pick whatever you prefer. And as you guys can see right here, the build is going to be called an inside out shot creator. This build is nearly unstoppable, but there's a version that's even better on offense, and that's going to be this next build. It's the 6'1" shot creator. It's a pure 6'1" shot creator, and here's how to build it. The height, you're going to want to go 6'1", of course. Weight, 160 pounds, and the wingspan of 6'4". Of course, it's at the point guard position. And then for driving dunk, as you can see, we don't get Michael Jordan on this build, but we get an 86 driving dunk, so we still get gold limitless takeoff, and we get the pro contact dunks. Now, as you guys can see, what makes this build extremely OP is we get this Hall of Fame Agent 3. So we get a 96 3 ball with a Hall of Fame Agent 3. You're going to be able to green every single fade you take consistently in this game. And then we get a 94 ball handle, which gives us that gold handles for days. That is a very, very key badge, because that's going to allow you to dribble faster and for longer without losing stamina. Now for defense, as you can see, we're a lot lower on our steal and perimeter defense versus the prior build, but we still get that 90 acceleration, so we're still extremely fast with the ball, and we get the 75 vertical. Again, you don't need to put 75 vertical if you are on current gen, but if you're on next gen, you need to put 75 vertical if you want all of the pro contact dunks. And then we also get that 90 stamina, so that way we do not get tired very easily. Now for the takeover, of course, it's all preference. You do get slashing take on this build. You get shot creator take, you get playmaking take, you get sharp take, but I went with limitless and ankle breaking shots. That way I can catch some ankle breakers on this build. And as you guys can see, The build is just simply called a shot creator. I love this name. It's like a pure shot creator. Kind of reminds me of the 2K17 pure builds. But now let's jump into the next build. So the next build, this is what I like to call a two-way lock point build. It is going to be extremely versatile. So as you can see, we go with the point guard position here. And then for the height, we're going to go 6'7", weight 180 pounds with a 7'4" wingspan. Body shape, I like to go defined here so that way I get the longest arms possible. Now, what you're going to notice here is we get an 88 driving dunk, a 78 layup, and an 84 shot close. We go with that 84 shot close so that way we get gold fearless finisher, and we go with the 88 driving dunk so that way we get the Michael Jordan dunk package so we can take off from the free throw line, and we get gold limitless takeoff, and we get all of the pro contact dunks. So that is why we go with what we go with here for the finishing. And you guys can see we also get gold masher, which is also a very good badge. Now for the shooting, we go with an 85 3 ball. At the 85 3 ball, you get silver limitless, which is going to allow you to pull up from deep and shoot consistently. And then we get the silver agent 3. Now for ball handling, we go with the 89 ball handle. That way we get Hall of Fame quick first step. That's what makes this more of a point guard build. And we get the 75 speed with ball. That way with the 75 speed with ball, we get the Michael Jordan dribble style, which is extremely important for point guards because it's the fastest dribble style in the game. Now for defense, this is where it gets fun. This is where it gets crazy. We go with a 99 steal for the Hall of Fame glove. You're going to be able to get steals every single time in this game. This is the most overpowered badge in NBA 2K23, and you get it on this build. And then we also get the 87 block for silver anchor, so you're going to get consistent stops around the rim. And then we get an 86 perimeter defense, so that way you get silver clamps and an 86 lateral quickness. That way you are able to consistently lock up any guard that's in your way. Now for the physicals, we go with that 80 acceleration. That way we are extremely fast with the ball. And now for the speed, if you guys didn't know, speed is actually not very important in this game. It's only really for off-ball movement, and it's not going to slow you down on defense because you have that 86 perimeter defense, which is going to give you an 86 lateral quickness. Now for vertical, again, if you are on next gen, go with the 75 vert. If you're on current, it does not matter, but on next gen, you need to go with the 75 vertical so you get all the pro contact dunks. Now for takeover, whatever you prefer, you do get the option to go slashing here, lockdown, sharp, so that gives you a lot of versatility there with the takeovers. And now for the build name, as you guys can see, it is called a two-way inside out creator. This is an extremely good point guard build, and this is pretty much one of the most overpowered point guard builds in the game because you're going to be able to get so many steals with that Hall of Fame glove. Now for this next build, this is going to be a perimeter lockdown build. This is going to be the best lockdown build in the game, and it's more of a shooting guard or a small forward. It's either one, whichever one you want to go with, and you're going to want to go 6'7", 180 pounds with a 7'4" wingspan. Now, as you guys can see, this is more of a pure lockdown build. You get a 97 perimeter defense for Hall of Fame clamps, 99 steal for Hall of Fame glove, 87 block for silver anchor, and then for offensive rebound we go with a 70, but you can flip-flop that and put a 70 defensive rebound if you want. It's whatever you prefer, but this build is going to be able to lock down anyone in this game. With that 97 perimeter D, you get a 97 lateral quickness along with that, so you're going to be sliding your feet extremely fast, and the Hall of Fame clamps, no one's going to be able to get by you. You also get Hall of Fame menace, Hall of Fame challenger, Hall of Fame glove. This build is OP. And then for playmaking, you do get LeBron pass style with the 75. You do get Michael Jordan dribble style still with the 75 speed with ball. So you are able to put it on the floor. And then your 3-ball, you got an 82 3-ball, which is extremely respectable. You can green every single time with that. On top of that, you get an 80 driving dunk with gold fearless finisher and silver limitless takeoff, so you can get consistent quick drops off one dunks. Now for the physicals, we go with the 80 speed, so that way we have extremely fast off-ball movement. Speed is very important for off-ball builds that are not at the point guard position because you're going to be running around a lot trying to get open. You're going to be cutting. You're going to be rotating a lot on defense, so make sure you go with that 80 speed. And then vertical, if you're on next gen, you only need to go with a 70. If you're on current, it doesn't really matter what you go with for your vertical. And then on your takeovers, Of course, you really want to put lockdown as your first takeover. So whether it's extreme clamps or badge drop or attribute drop, it's whatever you prefer. I prefer extreme clamps. I think that gives you the best benefits for any lockdown perk. And then for your second, go with a sharp takeover. And then for the build name, as you can see, it is a two-way inside out scorer. I absolutely love this build for off ball. You're going to be an extremely important role on your team. You're going to be guarding ball, and you're going to be looked at to get consistent stops for your team. Now for this next build, I like to call this the four-way all-around point guard, and that is because this build has literally no weakness. As you can see, we are at the point guard position, but if you prefer and you want to use this off ball, go ahead. You could put it at the shooting guard or small forward position, and then you're going to want to go 6'8", 180 pounds with a 7'5" wingspan. Now for the attributes, you guys can see this build is actually insane. Starting off, you get an 86 driving dunk, so you get gold limitless takeoff, and you get all of the pro contact dunks. You get an 85 driving layup, so you can finish consistently around the rim, and then you get an 85 close shot, so that way you get gold fearless finisher and gold masher. Now you also have the option to put on Hall of Fame Giant Slayer, Hall of Fame Pro Touch. This build all around is just insane when it comes to finishing. Now, jumping into the shooting, as you guys can see, we go with an 85 3 ball. This is going to give you that silver Agent 3 and that silver limitless range. You're going to be able to fade and green every single time and pull up from deep. We go with the 87 ball handle, so you get the gold quick first step along with the gold clamp breaker. Gold clamp breaker is such a good badge in this game, and I highly recommend it for any taller point guard build. Now, for defense, this is where it gets pretty crazy. You get a 95 steal, which is the highest steal you can get at 6'8". So you get a 95 steal, which is going to give you that gold glove, which is almost as good as Hall of Fame. You're going to be able to get steals pretty much every single time. So you're going to be getting steals on the same level as a pure lock. You get that 86 perimeter defense. So that way you also get the silver clamps with the 86 lateral quickness. And then you also get an 87 block. So you get that silver anchor, so you can get consistent stops in the paint. Now for rebounding, again, you could flip-flop it if you want. I prefer offensive rebound over defensive, but it is all preference. And then as you guys can see, we get that 78 pass accuracy, so we get the LeBron passing style. Our passing speed is going to be quick with that passing rating, and then we get the 75 speed with ball, so we get the Michael Jordan dribble style. Now for the physicals, we go with a 70 speed, we go with an 80 acceleration, and we get that 75 vertical, which you don't need to put if you are on current gen, but if you're on next gen, go with the 75 vertical. And then we get a good enough stamina, so we never have to worry about getting tired. Now for the takeovers, it's whatever you prefer, but since you do get that 95 steal, I like to put a lock takeover in there. But of course, since this is more of a point guard build, you want to put some type of offensive takeover for your first takeover, and I usually always go with limitless range. Now, as you can see, it is called a two-way inside-out scorer in the game, and now that's going to lead us into the next build, which is what I like to call a four-way all-around superstar. And that is because you can use this build at any position 1 through 4 and be extremely dominant. So you could use this at the point guard, shooting guard, small forward, or power forward. Of course, as you guys can see, I went with point guard, but it could be any of those positions. Now, for the height, you're going to want to go 6'9", the weight 194, and your wingspan, you're going to want to go 7'4". Now, I like to go defined body shape here because I feel like it makes the arms just a little bit longer because the shoulder width isn't quite as wide. Now, jumping right into the finishing, as you guys can see, we go with that 88 driving dunk. Now, if you guys haven't already, go check out my dunking video. That way you guys see why I like to go with this 88 driving dunk, because you get that Michael Jordan dunk package, which is going to allow you to take off from the free throw line consistently when paired with that gold limitless takeoff. Now we also go with that 85 close shot. That way we get the gold fearless finisher and gold masher, and with that rating we're going to be able to make consistent standing layups under the rim. Now with that 86 driving layup, you're going to be able to finish very efficiently around the rim when paired with these badges. And now let's jump into the shooting. So as you guys can see, we go with the 85 3 ball. That's going to give you the silver Agent 3 and the silver limitless range. You're going to be able to fade and knock down shots consistently from deep with that rating. Now, jumping into the playmaking, 75 pass accuracy for LeBron pass style, 87 ball handle That way you get the gold clamp breaker, which is one of the best badges in this game, especially on taller guards. You also get gold quick first step, gold vice grip, and gold unpluckable, along with the 75 speed with ball. So you get the Michael Jordan dribble style, which is the best dribble style in the game. Now jumping right into the defense, as you guys can see, this build is pretty much a lockdown defender build. This build is actually insane on defense. You get the 88 perimeter defense, so you're gonna be able to lock up anybody on defense and force consistent misses on the perimeter. You also get the silver clamps with that, along with an 86 steal, so that way you get that silver glove and you get a higher steal percentage at the 86 rating, and then you get an 87 block, so that way you get silver anchor for consistent stops inside the paint. You can get snatch blocks with that silver anchor. It is very good badge. And then rebounding. Now you can flip-flop this if you want, but I go with the 85 offensive rebound. That way if I'm on the 1v1 court, I could just keep snagging offensive rebounds if I miss a layup over and over. But if you prefer a higher defensive rebound, go with the 85 defensive rebound, but make one of these two ratings at least an 85. That way you get silver rebound chaser. With silver rebound chaser, you're going to be able to get consistent rebounds, and that's why this build is so versatile at all positions 1 through 4, because of this high rebound rating with the silver rebound chaser. Now for your physicals, go with an 80 acceleration, so you're extremely fast with the ball. 70 speed is more than viable for off-ball movement, and then 75 vertical if you're on next gen, so that way you can get all of the pro contact dunks. Stamina, we put that more than high enough so that way you do not get tired. And for your takeovers, go with whatever you prefer. You get so many different takeovers with this build. And this build, as you guys can see, ends up being called a two-way inside-out scorer. This build is one of the best, if not the best, 6'9" build in the game. But with that being said, there's a 6'9" build that is insane on offense that I highly recommend for point guards, and that is this next build, which I like to call the 6'9" scoring machine. Now, I look at this build as more of a point guard build, but of course, you can run this at the shooting guard or small forward. You're going to want to go 6'9", 185 with a 6'10" wingspan, and body shape, of course, I like to go defined. I feel like it makes your arms just a little bit longer. Now, as you can see, jumping right into the finishing, once again, we go with that 88 driving dunk, so that way we get that Michael Jordan dunk package, which is going to allow you to consistently take off from the free throw line with that gold limitless takeoff. Now, you also get all of the pro contact dunks, and then with that 85 close shot, you get the gold fearless finisher and gold masher. Now, this is where it gets crazy. On a 6'9", we go with the 92 3 ball, which is going to give you gold limitless range and gold agent 3. You guys are going to be able to fade like a 6'1" on this build and green nearly every single shot. They're going to have to guard you at half court, and then you can easily just blow by them and get consistent dunks with your gold clamp breaker that you get with that 87 ball handle. Now, you also get the Michael Jordan dribble style with 75 speed with ball. You get gold quick first step, gold unpluckable, fast pass speed with the 82 pass accuracy, LeBron pass style. And now for defense, this is the weaker point of the build. Now, it's not necessarily bad on defense, but that's why I like to run this build at the point guard position, because it's more of a scoring machine build. You do still get silver clamps, you do get that 86 perimeter defense, you get an 80 block, and a 75 steal. So it's not anything crazy on defense. It is good on the perimeter. You're definitely going to be able to keep up with anybody. Nobody's going to be able to just blow by you because you have that 86 perimeter defense with the silver clamps. But this build, of course, is more so for the offensive end. It's actually insane on offense. And it's funny, I made this build, and then I actually noticed Steezo made a very similar build himself with that 92 3 ball. So people are starting to run this build. It's extremely overpowered. Now for the physicals, make sure you get that 80 acceleration, so that way you're fast with the ball. The 75 vertical if you're on next gen, so that way you get all the pro contact dunks. And then the stamina, put that at an 88, so that way you do not get tired with the ball. Now, for takeovers, we go with that double limitless, baby. You already know, when you have that gold limitless range, you got a 92 3 ball, you got to go with the double limitless on this build. That way, you are able to literally shoot from half court. As you can see, it's called an inside out score by 2K, and that's going to bring us into the next build, which I like to call a two-way stretch glass cleaner. I think it actually has an archetype name that is almost exactly like that, and it's actually accurate because that's what this build is. This is arguably the best popper build in the game. And as you guys can see, you're going to want to go with a 7-foot height, 252-pound weight, 7'9" wingspan, and I like to go defined, but you could go built if you want, whatever you prefer for body shape. Now, as you guys can see, for the ratings, we get an 88 close shot. That way we're able to make consistent standing layups inside the paint when we don't get standing dunks. We can make our post hooks. We're going to be a threat inside. Now, 75 driving dunks, so we get all the dunk packages that we need, and we get the 80 standing dunks, so we get silver rise up. So that's going to make you extremely respectable in the paint. For a popper build, this is extremely good inside stats. You're going to be able to finish consistently. Now, with your shooting, you get an 83 ball on a 7-footer. This is going to allow you to knock down consistent shots from deep. You get all of the badges you need to make shots every single time. You're going to be able to green consistently with this build. I've played with so many people this year with this build, and you can green every single time. Now, for playmaking, you're going to want to go with a 76 pass accuracy. The reason why is so you get that gold break starter. That way, if you're playing in 5v5 modes such as the Rec or Pro-Am, you could throw full court dimes. And then you also get the LeBron James pass style, which is the best pass style in the game. Now, jumping into the defense, we get that 96 interior defense. 96 interior defense is not just important for getting stops in the paint. It's also going to give you gold brick wall. The reason why this is extremely important is now you don't have to worry about your strength rating. You get a 2-in-1 with this badge, which I think is extremely overpowered. By putting a 96 interior defense, you're going to get consistent stops in the paint, and you're going to be able to set big body screens on that pick and roll or pick and pop with the gold brick wall. Now, with 93 block, you're going to get gold anchor, which is more than enough. That's really all you need to get consistent stops in this game, consistent blocks, because you're pairing that with the 96 interior. You also get 99 defensive rebound, which is going to give you that Hall of Fame rebound chaser. And that's why you don't need a super high offensive rebound. This is a popper build. You're not really going to be in the paint getting as many offensive rebounds because you're going to be out on the three-point line spotting up a lot. However, Hall of Fame rebound chaser paired with an 80 offensive rebound is more than good enough. If you have position inside on an offensive rebound, let's say you run a pick and roll, your guard shoots, he misses, and you have that inside position, you're still going to get just as good of rebound animations with an 80 as if you had a 99 because you have the Hall of Fame rebound chaser. Now, for our steal, go with a 69. It's going to give you consistent passing lane steals with a center. And then for physicals, speed, 70 speed on a center. You're going to be flying down the court on a pick and pop, pick and roll. You're going to be able to get to the spot very fast. Acceleration doesn't matter on a big because you're never going to be dribbling the ball. 72 strength doesn't really matter here because you already get a very high interior, which gives you the Hall of Fame post lockdown and the gold brick wall. So you don't even need a high strength. And then for vertical, we go with the 75 to help with our rebound animations. And then we also go with an 88 stamina, so we're not getting tired. Now, for takeovers, go with what you want. I really like limitless range on this, so that way you could literally be a 7-foot center shooting from half court. I just think the idea of that is insane. But you could also pair that with stuff blocks or a glass cleaning takeover, whichever you prefer. And as you can see, we get the archetype name Two-Way Stretch Glass Cleaner. This is one of my favorite archetype names from 2K in the game. This is an awesome name, and I really love this build. This is probably my favorite center build in the game. However, we also have another popper build coming up right now, and that's going to be the 7-1 Stretch Glass Cleaner. Now, for this build, you're of course going to be going at the center position, and you're going to go 7'1", 243 pounds with a maxed out 7'11" wingspan. Now, with this build, guys, it is very similar to the 7-foot build that we just showed you, but you're going to be 7'1". That way, if you guys are a little uncomfortable at the 7-foot position and you want to be a little taller, a little more dominant height-wise, and you want to be able to keep up with 7'3s in the paint, go with this build. The 7-foot, of course, is also extremely good. I actually prefer that one more, but this build is pretty much just as good, and you get that extra inch. Now, for 3-ball, you get a 78 3-point rating. This is still more than consistent enough to knock down consistent threes in this game. I've played with plenty of 7'1" poppers this year, in the rec, and they knock down threes consistently with the 78. You can green every single time with this, especially when you have badges like Claymore on and catch and shoot. Now just keep in mind, of course, for catch and shoot, you will need to add your extra badge points onto shooting because we only get 11 stock with this build. Now pass accuracy, of course, go with the 76 for the LeBron passed out and the gold break starter. And on defense, again, 96 interior defense. That's what's going to be giving you this gold brick wall, and it's going to be getting you consistent stops in the paint with that Hall of Fame post lockdown. And then we go with the 93 block, so that way it pairs up with that interior defense with that gold anchor. So those two combined is going to be getting you consistent stops inside the paint. No one's going to be able to score on you. And then you got a 99 defensive rebound for the Hall of Fame rebound chaser. Again, 80 offensive rebound because you don't really need to worry about offensive rebounds too much on a popper build. You're going to be spotting up a lot more. You're not really going to be going for many offensive rebounds, but when you do, as long as you got position, you got Hall of Fame rebound chaser. So an 80 offensive rebound is going to act just as good as a 99 when paired with that Hall of Fame rebound chaser. Now for your finishing, we go with an 84 close shot for the gold fearless finisher, and so we can make consistent standing layups inside the paint. 75 driving dunks, so we get all the dunk packages that we could want. 82 standing dunks, that way we get consistent stand dunks with the silver rise up. And now for physicals, you want to go with the 65 speed. This is an extremely fast speed on a 7'1". You're going to be flying down the court. And then for the strength, 71, which doesn't really matter because you're going to get that 96 interior defense, which gives you the Hall of Fame post lockdown and the gold brick wall. 75 vertical, so you get very good rebound animations, and an 88 stamina, so that way you do not have to worry about getting tired. Now for the takeovers, this is all preference, but I love putting that limitless range takeover, especially on a 7-1. The thought of just being able to pull up from half court on a 7-1 is actually insane to me. And then, of course, for the build name, it is called a defensive anchor when you're at 7'1". So not as cool of a build name as the 7-footer, but it's pretty much the exact same build, just at 7'1". All right, now jumping into the final build of this video, this is going to be a 7'1" paint beast. You're going to want to go with a 251-pound weight, a 7'11" maxed out wingspan, and then for body shape, we're going built here because this is a dominant inside build. Now, as you guys can see, we go with the 88 close shot. That way we can make pretty much every single layup that we take inside. You get the fast twitch, you get the rise up, you get masher, you get fearless finisher, all on gold. Rise up you get on silver. And with this build, to be honest with you, I would add as many extra badges onto finishing as possible. I would put your +4 on finishing, all of your level 40 badges on finishing, because you get more than enough in every other category. Now, this is a paint beast, so we're not going to be really shooting much. We're going to put a 65 free throw, so that way we can't just get hacked all game in the rec. We're going to be able to knock down our free throws. 76 pass accuracy for the LeBron pass style and gold break starter. And now for defense, this is where it gets crazy. We got 99 interior defense for Hall of Fame brick wall and Hall of Fame post lockdown. Hall of Fame brick wall. You're going to be able to set the craziest big bodies with this build. Now you also get that 99 block, so that way you get Hall of Fame anchor paired up with that 99 interior defense. Nobody's going to be able to score on you. You're going to be able to get snatch blocks consistently, at least multiple a game if you're playing 5v5. 90 offensive rebound, 99 defensive rebound, Hall of Fame rebound chaser, Hall of Fame pogo, Hall of Fame box out beast, Hall of Fame chase down artist. This build is a monster on defense inside the paint. Nobody's going to be able to score on you. And then for physicals, we go with the 60 speed, which is extremely fast for a 7'1" build. Then, of course, strength does not really matter on this build because you have that 99 interior defense. So you have Hall of Fame post lockdown, you have Hall of Fame brick wall. It's going to act as if you had a 99 strength, but now you get to put these ratings extremely high. Vertical, of course, go with a 75 vert, and then stamina, go with a 90 stamina. That way you are not getting tired. And then, of course, for your takeovers, go with whatever you prefer. I prefer a rim takeover, but you could go with glass cleaner if that's what you prefer. And now for the build name, as you guys can see, this is just simply called a defensive anchor as well. So with that all being said, guys, this has been your boy Breeze. I'm signing out. These were the top 10 builds as of right now in NBA 2K23. I'm going to be dropping more fire builds very soon. As I find more, I'm going to be dropping a lot of fire content very soon. So if you guys haven't already, be sure to hit that like button, be sure to hit that sub button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.